NBA teams are panicking right now as the latest news out of Milwaukee looks good. The Vultures have been circling the Bucks all offseason, but the probability of Giannis remaining a Buck looks good right now. What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Nathan Burton, here with Bucks Digest, your number one source on YouTube for all things Bucks. Thank you for being here with me today. I'm going to get right into it. Of course, we're going to talk about the latest news and rumors surrounding the Giannis Antetokounmpo saga. Will he stay or won't he? Will he go or won't he? This is all that anyone can talk about in NBA media and, of course, in Bucks media. But I'm going to get into some reasons why it's starting to look good for Giannis to remain a Buck, which is, of course, what we all want. Now, before I do, I just want to mention to you guys to please hit that subscribe button. You guys have been running up the subscribers on the channel. Please continue to do so. So let's talk about the latest. There's headlines coming out every day surrounding Giannis's status, but I'm starting to see more and more positivity. This report from Ryan Stano with Sports Illustrated: Bucks may sacrifice everything to keep Giannis Antetokounmpo long-term, and they likely will have to, but at 30 years old and firmly in his prime, in my opinion, the best player in the NBA right now, the Bucks should be willing to sacrifice whatever they have to keep Giannis happy and keep him at home. Another report is that the Bucks remain hopeful that Giannis will stay in Milwaukee. This is from the Stein report. Every major outlet basically is reporting that there's a lot of hope around the organization that Giannis will remain with the Bucks, and that is nice to see if you're a Bucks fan. Now, of course, Antetokounmpo has not asked for a trade yet. He is still contemplating what he wants to do with his basketball future. We know Giannis has come out publicly in the past and said that he's not the type of player to ask for a trade and is very unlikely to do so. That is music to my ears, and I'm happy to hear not a peep from Giannis one way or another. The rumor mill can swirl, but Giannis in his heart bleeds green, is a Buck, does it for Cream City. Now, the fans do not want, this is also from the Sports Illustrated report, the fans do not want to let this team leave town. The organization is reflecting that mentality. It's a good news for Bucks fans. The sense I get is that people I've talked to think Giannis is not all the way out on this roster. That was a quote from Sam Amick, and it is, I just want to echo it because it sounds really good. I mean, it looks like the organization is still all in on keeping Giannis, and to hear that Giannis is open and is not all out on the current roster is, of course, good news. Now, Chris Haynes also reported on this. He said that Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks brass have a very crucial meeting next week where they're going to address the future of the team. He went on to say, a meeting is scheduled for mid next week. Giannis will speak with the Bucks brass and talk to them about the direction of the team. Knowing Giannis personally, he wants multiple championships. He wants to play for a title. So that's not news. We know that Giannis wants another title. It's just about whether he can see a title coming with this Bucks roster and what changes he thinks needs to happen to make the team competitive now. So this meeting will be really telling, and I can't wait to see what comes out after this, but I'm remaining very hopeful. Now, Podcast P, I know people will say Podcast P is Paul George, but for me, Podcast P is Pat Beverly. His podcast is much more entertaining, in my opinion. He at least is a supporter of Giannis staying home in Milwaukee and thinks that is the likely scenario. He thinks that Giannis is just trolling the public with all these posts and things to do with a trade and kind of cryptic things that he's put on his Instagram. Patrick Beverly on a recent podcast said that Giannis was a pretty big troll. He likes to play with the media. He came out and he said on the podcast, I don't think he'll ask for a trade. Giannis is a troll. He's unbelievably a troll. He doesn't talk to anyone in the media except his brother. So we know Giannis is tight-lipped with the media, but it's nice to hear from a former teammate and confidant like Bev that he thinks Giannis is staying put. The crazy thing was Giannis even retweeted this post from Patrick Beverly and said, life is more fun that way, to live as a troll. So, it's almost like an admission from Giannis that he's just playing with the media, and we probably will never know his true thoughts until a decision is actually made. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of that meeting and to see if Patrick Beverly and myself hopefully are right that Giannis's heart is with Milwaukee and he's going to do what it takes along with Bucks brass to try to bring another championship home. Now, I'd be remiss not to talk about the other things in the news right now with the Bucks. Despite not having a first-round pick, the Bucks did plan some workouts with top 8 draft picks. This NBA Central reported this. So it's clear that they are operating with a contingency plan as well. I mean, they have no first-round pick, not until 2031. So very likely, they're working out guys that they have no chance of picking without a trade or something like that. So, but I think that this is just good business. It's not an indication that Giannis is 1 foot out the door. They need to be prepared for any possible scenario, and there's no reason that they shouldn't bring in a couple young guys to work out. Now, if the worst happens and Giannis is traded, and that, in my mind, is the worst scenario, I did see this quote that Legion Hoops posted from John Horst where he said he would go for blood and gut any team that he's going to trade Giannis to. So that's, again, like DEFCON. I don't want Giannis to get traded, but if he does, it's good to know that our general manager is out for blood. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully this meeting goes good and those workouts they're doing with young players are just for future information, maybe a trade down the road. They hopefully will not have a first round pick this year because the only way that happens is if Giannis is out the door. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. This is, of course, a quote from 7 years ago, but I, for one, hope Giannis has not changed very much. I hope he has loyalty inside his DNA, like he stated here. Loyalty is what we need from Giannis. It is going to be a challenging year, whichever way you cut it, but we need our leader and our GOAT to stay home and be a Buck and go through the grind with this team. So I want to know what you guys think, though. Of course, I know we've been back and forth on the channel talking about Giannis trade rumors and now talking about him staying. We report on what we see and we hope for the best. I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that this meeting will probably tell the story like I do? Hopefully, we'll get a clearer picture of where the organization and Giannis's head is at. I want to know, give me your percentages down below. Give me the percentage chance that you think Giannis plays his next game as a Buck. I'm going to still confidently say that's a 90% chance, but I want to hear what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks for tuning in to Bucks Digest, and we'll be back next time.